everyone. This is Spilling the Real Tea, Season 1, Episode 3. And today we're doing the Great Commission Confusion. Welcome back to Spilling the Real Tea. I'm Michele Rehm, broker, owner of Star One Realty Group Elite. And today we're stirring up a pot that's being brewed hotter than your morning coffee. Commissions.
Yeah, Mom, everyone online seems to have an opinion. TikTok agents, YouTubers, and even the guy at Starbucks. Everyone's spilling tea about commissions.
So let's get to the bottom of what's really going on. There's a lot of confusion out there and a lot of change, but change doesn't have to be scary. It can actually empower both buyers and sellers.
Right. And now that word's getting out, especially after those recent lawsuits, a lot of buyers and sellers are asking, wait, who's really paying what?
Exactly. And that's where the Great Commission confusion begins. Here at Star One Realty Group Elite, we've taken that confusion and turned it into clarity with our two different programs, our traditional and our new unbundled listing option and flexible buyer representation plan.
Okay, so for the people listening who aren't in real estate, unbundled means what exactly?
Well, to us, it means you only pay for what you actually need. Sellers can choose a full service listing where we handle everything from the marketing to negotiations, or a more basic option for a flat fee if they're experienced or want to handle some or parts of it themselves. And buyers, they sign a buyer's broker's agreement, which outlines exactly how their agent is compensated with full transparency up front.
Okay, I like that. No surprises at closing, and everyone knows the money, like how it flows. But I got to play devil's advocate here. A lot of people online say if commissions drop, agents will disappear. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I've heard that one. The reality, good agents aren't going anywhere. Full service still matters. Negotiating, staging, inspections, title work, that expertise saves clients time, money, and headaches. And not everyone feels, confident in their negotiating skills, because let's be honest, that's where an agent's real true worth comes in, is in the negotiations of the price and all the terms, the home inspections. That's where we earn our money. Anyone can put it on the MLS, but where the rubber meets the mat is at that time.
So not the end of the real estate agent, just the end of one size fits all.
That's true. It's evolutionary, but not extinct. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is it's time for the tea leaves. Our 3 levels of spiciness predictions. Let's see what's brewing.
So first, Michele, we're going to start with mild. So take it a little easy on us over here.
Okay, so mild. This is what I think. More brokerages start offering flat fee or a la carte services just like ours. Flexibility becomes the new normal.
And then medium. Buyers get more involved in negotiating how their agents are paid. And that's going to be interesting to watch.
Well, maybe interesting to watch, but it's actually going on now where since August of last year, the buyers now have to sign an agreement with their buyer's agent, how much they want that buyer's agent to be paid. And it is technically coming from the buyer. That buyer might ask for assistance from the seller. And the seller, of course, that's a negotiation, can say yes or no, they don't want to. But now instead of the listing agent just grabbing so much money and giving half of it to the buyer's agent, now the buyer's agent has to get their money and then ask the seller for compensation. And that's where it gets kind of spicy. The lawsuits and the settlements, they won't kill buyer's agents. They spark more education and weed out those who don't adapt. The professionals who communicate, educate, and serve, they'll be the ones who thrive in this new reality, new normal.
So spicy but survivable is what you're saying.
Exactly. Here's a little extra pour for your cup. Did you know the idea of the standard 6% commission came from the 1950s? It wasn't a law, it was actually a marketing tactic used to create consistency during that post-war housing boom.
So you're saying the set 6% that everyone talks about was never actually set?
No, it was never actually set. In fact, in 1999, when Star One opened, that is really when we kind of shook things up with Jeff's great big 3%, because we pretty much have always kind of done things the way they're done now. We've always charged 3% to list the home. And then also, if we had the buyer, we didn't charge them any more than that. So only more money came into play if it was someone that was other than Jeff or myself. So, this now pivoting with this, new normal, I guess, it basically is how we've always done it. We've always had flexible commissions. So just good old fashioned advertising, and it's stuck for decades. All right. So, Logan, um, the reason for our podcast is we want to just start educating the public, telling them I've been doing this for 25 years. It's time to start talking about what really is going on. And, they brought it to the forefront. And so we're going to run with it. So if people are out there and they're wondering about what our unbundled real estate option is, give us a call, 727-364-2858. Sign up for maybe one of our workshops. I have seller and buyer workshops. You can go to spillingtherealtypodcast.com, and we actually have a sign up there where you can sign up to come to a workshop and learn if you want to take on doing your own work, or what it actually entails. A lot of people haven't sold houses in a long time. And here's a fun fact, Logan, that I saw the other day. Back in those 50s and really up until recently, the average first-time home buyer was in their 20s and 30s, where now the average first-time home buyer is 56 years old. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy. That's insane to think about.
All right. So there we go.
And don't miss next week's episode, Tea versus Trends. What's brewing in 2025's market? It's going to be a hot one, I think.
Yep. Until next time, keep your tea hot and your real estate real. We'll talk to you next week.